Sometimes you're called, but not yet crowned. Chosen, but still waiting. This is the story of David, and maybe it's your story too. There are moments in life when the promise doesn't match the present, when God whispers destiny over your life, but your current reality looks nothing like it. You know you're called, you know you're chosen, but everything around you screams delay, resistance, or silence. If you've ever been there, this word is for you, because that's exactly where David found himself. A young shepherd, forgotten in the fields, overlooked even by his own father. When Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel, in 1 Samuel 16, Jesse, David's father, didn't even bother to call him in from the pasture. He lined up every other son, everyone that looked the part, tall, strong, experienced, but God said no to each one. And then finally, the prophet asked, "Are these all your sons?" That's when Jesse said, "There's still the youngest, but he's tending the sheep." David was the one God had chosen, not the strongest, not the tallest, not the most obvious, but the one whose heart was after God. And here's what's powerful. David was anointed that day. Oil poured on his head. The Spirit of God came upon him mightily from that moment on. But what happened next? Did he go straight to the throne? Did he ride into the palace with a crown on his head? No. He went back to the field, back to the sheep, back to silence. He was anointed but not yet appointed. And maybe that's where you are too. You've received the word, the calling, the confirmation, but instead of elevation, you're in a holding pattern. Instead of being celebrated, you feel isolated. But here's the lesson. Just because you're not yet in the position doesn't mean God isn't preparing you for it. In fact, the season you're in right now may be the most important part of the process. God often develops his greatest warriors in obscurity. He shapes them in silence. He refines them in places where no one sees. And that's not punishment, preparation. The field wasn't beneath David. The field built David. It's where he learned to fight lions and bears, to protect what was entrusted to him, to worship in the quiet, to be faithful in the mundane. And when Goliath came, David didn't face him with palace experience. He faced him with field experience. The skills that qualified him for the battle were developed in a place no one applauded. Sometimes we want to skip the process and rush to the platform, but God is not in a hurry. He's more interested in who you're becoming than where you're going. Promotion from God is never rushed. It's refined. And the anointing is not a shortcut, it's a responsibility. God anoints in advance to prepare in private. David didn't manipulate his way to the throne. He didn't fight Saul to take it. He waited on God. Even when Saul pursued him, tried to kill him, and made his life miserable, David refused to take matters into his own hands. He had multiple chances to kill Saul, to speed up the process, to help God fulfill the promise. But he didn't. He said, "I will not touch the Lord's anointed." Why? Because he understood something most of us missed. Just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Just because it's possible, doesn't mean it's time. David teaches us what true humility looks like. To serve where you could lead. To obey when it costs you. To wait when it hurts. To honor even when dishonored. That's character. That's kingdom maturity. And that's what God is after in us. Maybe you feel like you're still in the field, like you're still being passed by. But listen, God knows exactly where you are. You're not hidden from him. You're hidden in him. Isaiah 49:2 says, "He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver." Concealed, not forgotten. Hidden, not discarded. Being sharpened, not rejected. When the time is right, he will launch you. When the time is right, he will bring you forward. And it won't be forced. It won't be manipulated. It will be divinely appointed. Psalm 75:6-7 says, "For promotion comes neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another." Your time will come. Not because you chased it, but because you waited for it. In the meantime, serve faithfully, love deeply, worship fiercely, be excellent in what's small. Because if you can be trusted with the sheep, you'll be trusted with the nation. If you can be trusted with the slingshot, you'll be trusted with the sword. Your waiting is not wasted. Your faithfulness is not forgotten. God is not done writing your story. Just like David, you may be anointed, but not yet appointed. But when the appointment comes, you'll be ready. Not because you forced your way into the room, but because you let God form you in the wilderness. Stay in the process. Don't rush the palace. What God is doing in you now is preparing you for the weight of what's coming. The crown is heavy. The calling is costly, but the God who called you is faithful to finish what he started. So keep showing up, keep trusting, keep worshiping, because your time is coming. And when it does, it won't be about your glory. It will be for his. You may be hidden now, but when he reveals you, the world will see, not just a leader, but a life that was formed by the hand of God.